Hello and welcome to another NinjaBill and Friends live and phone oops. And yeah, tonight kind of a late start, and I apologize for that. Was got busy all of a sudden and held back on some things, but that's okay. Tonight we are gonna the main topic will be about the well, how did you feel about the original Marvel Transformer comics run, and what is your opinion of those comics? Not the Marvel UK run, one of my favorites personally. We'll just talk about the US Marvel UK Marvel line. Welcome Firebite, welcome Trans Aaron 38. I was going to send you an invite link, Trans Aaron, but I didn't see you live in the Facebook chat. Uh, Welcome, Deluxe. If you'd like, PM me through Facebook, and I can send you an invite if you'd like to enjoy the show. Otherwise, or join the show. Otherwise, you'll be limited to the chat. I only select people or send the invites through email or Messenger nowadays for protective reasons, yada yada, etc. Blah blah blah. Anyway, tonight's topic, I wanted to talk about the original Transformer Marvel Comics run. They were one of my favorites. And again, welcome everyone who's joining. I hopefully will get some other guest hosts here to appear. It's one of those things. Anyway, start off. I'm Ninja Bill. You can find me on Facebook at Shinobi Biru. That's Shinobi Biru on Facebook. SHINOBIBIRRU, and on Discord at Ninja Bill, Twitter at Ninja Bill 1000 or Ninja Bill 01, pardon me, and Instagram at Ninja Bill 1000. So once again, welcome everyone. And whoops, I gotta shut off my phone here, so I don't get bothered by a lot of people. And there is Trans Aaron 38 just messaged me. Let's see here. There you go. Sent him a link. There you go. Crimson, welcome. David, holy, where you been hiding? Everybody calls me a ninja. And yeah. So anyway, tonight I wanted to talk about the original Marvel comics. Now, the original Marvel comics were, or maybe I should wait till I get other guests in. What else is in the news? I don't know. I didn't read any. This is really a short news period, unfortunately. Um, I haven't picked up anything new as far as the Earthrise. Haven't even seen the Earthrise line of toys. I was in a bigger city here just yesterday, and yeah, I went to a Target and I went to two Walmarts, a Target, and I never saw one Earthrise toy, not one. So not around here, unless everybody else has gotten to them first. It is what it is, and so, but I do have a Mixmaster Studio Series 53 Mixmaster review coming up. I did get him. Uh, um, Hopefully tonight, if you guys didn't catch it, go and watch my review of the Magna Defender, which is pretty good, or Bull Black, as I know him, Hyuga Bull Black from Gingaman. So, great series. Great series. I love Super Sentai. Super Sentai. I'm getting way off topic. Super Sentai is one of my favorite things next to Kamen Rider and Transformers. It's all blended together in my brain. You never read any of the Marvel Transformers comics, David? For shame. For shame. They were great. They were great. Um, they've re-released them a couple of times. Several omnibuses. Had to step away for a moment. Sorry about that. But yeah, they've had several of them. Here's one. So here's one such pretty cool stuff. There's the ISBN in case you guys want to look at it, do whatever you want with it. There you go. So and they were really cool. I really enjoyed the Marvel comics. I have the original prints, and of course I have several of these. And this was Volume 1 you just saw, and I the early like much like the cartoon, the artwork was sort of inconsistent. The depiction of the characters really inconsistent. Really, much like the cartoon. You thought the cartoon was bad. The early issues were worse. They were worse. Uh, let's see if I can show a fine example of issue 1 here, um, where it shows the alt modes for the, like, check out Optimus Prime's Cybertronian mode. Check out that. There you go. That's Optimus Prime's Cybertronian mode. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? I've never seen that toy around. So yeah, Kato, welcome. I love me some Ultraman. Ultraman is good. I'm not a huge fan of the Ultramans, although they are cool. Really cool. I watched the latest one that was on Netflix. It's pretty good. Honestly, not as good as the live action shows, in my opinion, although much more action. Still good. Yeah, but so anyway, back to the topic at hand. I wanted to talk about. I loved the Marvel comics. Some of my favorite scenes happened in the Marvel comics run, uh, um, and I dig it. And that's where I really fell in love with the Shockwave character. By the way, the Shockwave was, unlike the cartoons, he was a serious threat from the get go. Uh, um, Another classic scene from the comics right here. Check that out. All those Autobots just hanging around. And there's Shockwave doing his thing. Just, because unlike the cartoon, where he was, a loyal lieutenant of Megatron, Shockwave worked out logically that Megatron was just in the way, to put it lightly. He's a battle platform, the only one that could match the power of Megatron. It's the siege. It's the siege mode with a rifle on the left port, and add 2 extra tires. I don't think so. And nice try, Crimson. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think so. I think it looks like nothing we've gotten before. Let's look at that picture again. There, we can get it in the light. There we go. That is nothing in the siege line. That is nothing we've really gotten previously. And that would be 4 extra tires. Yeah, we've never gotten that. We've never gotten that. Still, pretty cool stuff. But again, they were more the artwork was a little inconsistent. The coloration of the characters, way inconsistent. It was just a lot of awesome going on. There was a lot of awesome going on. One of my favorite issues again is, of course, the coming of the Dinobots. Issue number 3 was awesome. Had Spider-Man, webbing up Megatron. It was friggin' fantastic. Fantastic. As a matter of fact, Patriot Prime Reviews says it's one of his favorites. There is that cover for issue number 3. It's pretty cool. Spider-Man swinging around Megatron. Great. It's a great issue. Not my personal favorite, but it is a great issue. One of my personal favorites is obviously, the Dinobots, because it's just awesome. But once again, it's Shockwave who is the real threat, not Megatron in the comics. It is Shockwave early on. Still pretty cool. Warrior School is a great one where it primarily features my favorite Autobot, which is Ratchet. Love Ratchet. Ratchet and Shockwave are my two favorite characters, and that is owed all to the comics, not the cartoon. Because the cartoon, the two weren't figured prominently, whereas in the comics, they were figured pretty prominently. And I'm waiting for my guests to come in, but I don't think they are coming in. Oh wait, somebody just beat in, and there's Crimson.
What up, Ninja? Or do you know that your username there says NinjaBill?
So what?
It
Nina
says
Bill. What the heck? Nina Bill. What the heck? Okay, okay. I'll.
I mean, it's fine, but I mean, we all know who you are, and we're at your channel. But I just noticed that as I was coming in. Oh, and now it's me. All right, kids, if you're just joining us,
Hell with it. I'm Nina Bill. How you doing?
that's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless I completely drop out of the stream and then get back into it, which I'm not going to do. So anyway,
Right.
so I was like I was saying, the comics is probably my favorite of the Transformers lore, simply because it presented my two favorite characters, Ratchet and Shockwave, more prominently
Oh yeah.
than it did in other media.
Particularly, I was kind of listening to as I was getting ready. One of the best scenes I liked was at the end of the 4-issue limited series where like the Autobots won and Optimus there is missing an arm, and then Shockwave comes in and then just transforms. And if you've seen, because I didn't see the comics first, I saw the cartoon first because I was born and watched Generation 2. So when I read that comic the first time, the way the panels are done, like I saw like through my own imagination of the transforming of Shockwave coming down extremely dramatic like. And so it made an even bigger impact, I think, because of seeing the cartoon and hearing Shockwave's voice from the cartoon and imprinting that onto the comic itself. And I'd love to do like just kind of like a little stop motion of just that part, like a little bit of the battle and stuff. But it's really, really was dramatic, and it was like that hooked me, right? Like that hooked me that I want to know more about this character. I want to know more about all these others because the next issue is just like it's crazy because like Shockwave was totally different and more deadlier than Megatron, I think, in his methods.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He was absolutely ruthless. I mean, he just like I said, he just decided that suddenly, you know what, Megatron's rule wasn't going anywhere, and that he should be in charge, and then he did it. And he did it. He just simply took over. That's because that's what it was logical.
Now I know the reason why they don't do it. Just like in cartoons, they can't have the bad guy win all the time and stuff like that. But in the comics, because I heard the GI Joe comic was really like had a lot of death and a lot of gore in it. I'm not. That's just what I've heard. But in the Transformers, huh?
Yeah, I've never read it.
Yeah, so in the Transformers, there's bots that are taken apart, like Gears got taken apart, and Spider-Man saw that in the black costume, and they put him back together, and he was okay at the end of that issue. But when you had Shockwave had all the Autobots hanging from the ceiling, I always was confused as to like why he didn't just melt them down. Like what would be the purpose of keeping the Autobots alive? Because he was making other Decepticons and other troops and stuff. So I always felt that was the only thing that was out of place for Shockwave because it felt like that would have been a better use of the materials to melt them down, unless he was going to subjugate them later because he already had Optimus Prime subjugated. So
it's a great issue. Here, Megatron is hailing. You can't see it. hailing Shockwave, the new Decepticon commander. He's like, hail
Yeah.
Shockwave. It's great. It's great. Megatron ain't never bowed to anyone in the cartoon, but he sure did in the comic.
Well, and he, later on, he sicks the Predacons to hunt down Megatron, and because he had gone crazy, and the what was it like? That's the whole reason why the toys had Autobot and Decepticon symbols. That's kind of the real reason why they had that when you got the G1 Predacon or Predacons. But the other thing is that in the movie there was in the early script there was these things called the Anabots, and the Anabots were animal transformers, and they were to release them. And originally the Predacons were going to be Autobots, but the comic kind of changed that, and the script changed for the movie as well, because they had the Dinobots versus Devastator instead of adding in the Predacons. So, but yeah, I like that. I like that kind of dual allegiances for fake purposes for Shockwave's own methods in the comic.
Yep, and then of course we get to issue 8, which is the rise of the Dinobots, where Ratchet and sort of works for Megatron, plotting against Megatron, to bring down Shockwave, and we also get our introduction, sort of introduction to Circuit Breaker, which was awesome because Circuit Breaker is one of those underrated, not really talked about human characters in the Transformers lore that somehow people are forgotten about. I'm not sure why, because she's appeared later in other Marvel continuities. So which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's when we get it. As a matter of fact, that image is right there. Let me see. There is her getting ready to become Circuit Breaker.
And she was on. I kind of forget because my memory's a little foggy. Was she like a news reporter that was looking on JB Blackrock? Is that kind of what was going on on the oil rig?
She was or something like that. Yeah, I forget as well. But I think you might be right. It's been a while since I've read issue 8. Yeah. It's been a while. Admittedly, it has been a while. And yeah, so when I first got the Jetfire toy and we were all talking about it, this is what you were just talking about when Shockwave is creating new Decepticons,
Right.
And that's what I thought. If you could see it right there, right there is the brain case. And that's what I think that was inside Jetfire's cockpit, is his brain case. So, because it resembles it. So I thought that was a cool little thing. But there he's making the Constructicons in issue 9. That's when the Constructicons make their first appearance in the comics. And I just dig it. I just dig it. It's the comics for me was real Transformers for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there's a really good interview out there on a YouTube channel. A real good guy. His name is Michael Mercy, and he
I think I've heard
interviewed.
Saw some of the stuff.
Yeah, he interviewed Bud Budinsky not too long ago, actually. I think earlier this year or last year. Really good conversation with him, and he had a pretty good story, kind of what he was going, but as they continued on, Hasbro just kept adding in more and more and more and more characters, and it got to the point to where he was juggling 70 or 80 different characters that he started losing track of who was who, and that's why so many of them, and so many of them didn't even get their issue where they could shine and stuff like that. Like Skids, he eventually gets his own issue, but then he disappears for the entire rest of the run. So.
Yeah. And again, with the color thing I was talking about, check out the yellow and purple Bumblebee. Yeah, he's yellow, and the camera isn't doing it justice, but all throughout this issue, he's yellow and purple. All throughout this issue, he's yellow and purple. Every bit of this issue, he's a yellow and purple robot.
Well, even Soundwave's purple and kind of silver too, because he's supposed to be blue, but I think it has something to do with the inks that Marvel used. Like if you
Yeah.
use a lot of black, you're not going to be able to see anything. So
Mhm.
they had to use like different colors, and that's how everybody ends up with crazy colors. But
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
one
at
of the
least
great
the designs were consistent for the
things.
most part.
For the most part. Yeah, agreed. In my opinion, the artwork got even better from issue 3 on. Uh, um, hey, Darkonin, welcome. ACP, welcome. But I mean, for me, the comics was awesome. Oh yes, the issue where Buster disassembles Skyfire or Jetfire, completely
Yeah,
disassembles him and reprograms him as an Autobot.
yeah, because that's where, and the reason why is because the Matrix was passed from Optimus Prime to Buster Witwicky, and so he
Yep.
had all this power and stuff using
Who
it. So
who seemingly never showed up. That's one of those comic only characters. He never shows up in. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's been any of the Transformers. I think he was. Well, I take that. Maybe he was mentioned in one of them.
So he was supposed to be. Okay, Buster was the working name for Spike,
Mm-hmm.
and what so they were supposed to be aligned. Like you were supposed to have Buster was supposed to be in the cartoon, and then they changed it at the last minute. There's like old prints out there where you see where they marked out something on the Marvel copies, and then they wrote in Spike instead of don't refer to Buster or something like that. But they hadn't told Marvel, like they hadn't gone back to, like Sunbow had it, but they hadn't gone back and told Marvel, it hadn't gotten passed over to him. So they ended up printing the books with Buster, and by that time it was already too late, so they just decided to just continue it on because Bud Budiansky didn't get the memo or something about it, and that's kind of what happened, because there were too many copies. Like Sunbow and Marvel Comics were trying to keep in touch, and there's a lot of actually, even as recently as this year, there's been stuff where people have held on to the copies of the animated model sheets from Sunbow that had sent over to Marvel, and they were
Mm-hmm.
kind of selling them on eBay and stuff recently for like crazy, like thousands of dollars. Like Hot Rod, like some of his early movie designs went for like, I think it was like $1,100 or something crazy like that. But they weren't in sync that way, so they just had to run with Buster. Um, and I think there was an idea to bring Spike into the comic, but earlier, but it didn't happen. So they eventually brought him in. Like I think what was it with Fortress Maximus? Didn't Spike end up taking over for Buster or something? I'm trying to remember if that was it.
Waiting.
Like he was Buster's, like Spike was older, like Buster's older brother or something. I think is how that went.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
No.
yeah. Transformers issue number 14. It was a heavy hoist issue. Before
Yeah,
that, he
it
didn't really
is.
have much of a presence, but
It
I
is
love
kind
how
of weird. Like some of them are just like one, like it's kind of like Auto Berserk in the cartoon where you had Red Alert has his own issue, and Make Tracks, him and Blaster had their kind of cartoon together, and so every once in a while in the Marvel comics you'd have like one whole issue dedicated to just a couple of Transformers and nobody else.
yeah. Check out Jetfire's scale here. Whoops, there he is. Check out Jetfire's scale next to Optimus.
See, and that's, and I don't think Jetfire even. I don't even think he even, other than a human pilot, I think he was just supposed to be just a little bit taller than Starscream, and that was it. But even right
He,
there, yeah,
I mean, even right there. I mean, you see it next to Optimus. He's not that much bigger.
mm-mm.
That's a
That's kind of
deluxe
like that,
Voyager scale or a Voyager leader scale difference right there.
right? So that's like that thrilling 30 generations Jetfire scale is what that is.
Yeah. That's oh, I guess PPR is premiering right now. Hmm. Tell you what, I think I'll end this so people can go watch that. So I would like to see that as well. So everyone, thank you
Okay,
for joining me. Crimson, I hope you have a great night. Sorry to cut this short, but I kind of watch
no problem, man.
PPR right now, and I was starting to, you know, go off topic here, I guess. But anyway, thanks for
Yeah,
everyone.
sorry
Make
for
sure you
running
check.
late. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Make sure you all go check out Patriot Prime reviews. Uh, so go on over there. Make sure you hit the like button before you go. Thanks for watching and listening. Everyone have a great night.